So do you guys remember, how long ago was it now? Maybe 5 months ago or something like that? Trump tweeted an AI-generated video. And the AI video was of the United States taking over Gaza and building hotels and casinos on the beach. Trump hotels and casinos. And in the video, Trump and Netanyahu were sitting at the, poolside, sipping margaritas and laughing. And you have literal golden statues built to Trump in the middle of a bustling city, which was Gaza, which, again, they've taken over by force. And it was like, and Trump was openly talking about, we're going to take Gaza, we're going to own Gaza. So he says that, then he posts these disgusting AI videos of him being worshipped in Gaza. And at the time when he talked about it, people were like, oh, he's just he's trolling. This is Trump. He trolls. That's what he does. But here's the thing, guys. He's not trolling. Like, yeah, there was a time maybe in the past where it was plausible to say when he, makes these absurd points, like, oh yeah, he's just trolling. But we are so far beyond that. He's not just trolling. He means this shit. He means this shit. And so, guess what? Well, we just got word that there is indeed a post-genocide, post-ethnic cleansing plan for Gaza. And it's exactly that. So look at this from the Washington Post. Exclusive. President Trump and international partners are discussing plans to build a Riviera of the Middle East on the rubble of Gaza. One plan would establish U.S. control and pay all of Gaza's more than 2 million population to leave. Well, first of all, they are no longer more than 2 million. They are no longer. Now you're at about 1.7 million or so. And that's not even me speaking. That's directly from the Israeli government, seemingly admitting they killed 400,000, 500,000 Palestinians. The second point is, this is literally just a description of complete genocide and ethnic cleansing and then colonization. That's what this is. And just brazen land theft. That's what this is. It's incredible. The fact that the Washington Post, and you can go read the whole article and decide for yourself, but the fact that they wrote this in this sort of like passive way, like you guys are objectively describing one of the worst, if not the worst, war crimes and atrocities of the modern era, and you're describing it like it's some, hey, here's our plan, sir. Like it's some fucking soulless corporate boardroom presentation about like what ad campaign to go for your new underwear. Like, it's disturbing that this is how far gone we are as a country. That Trump and Netanyahu, they could float these things. People can hear it and take it seriously. And then in the Washington Post, they can write it up as if it's like this is a normal thing that we're talking about. We're talking about they've already massacred hundreds of thousands of people. We're talking about massacring more of them and then forcibly removing the remaining population to places like Libya where there are open slave markets. And in theory, you're doing this to build expensive hotels and casinos to invite rich Westerners to party on the skulls of Gaza's babies. We really, really do live in hell. We really do. So here we go. Post-war plan envisions temporary relocation of Gaza's entire population. By the way, let me just point out, that's not a thing. I like sometimes they say, oh, it's voluntary, they'll say. You can't say it's voluntary and then also say, oh, by the way, we're removing all of them. Well, then that's not voluntary, is it? Because some people would choose, I want to stay here, right? And you're saying we're going to move all of them. That is not voluntary. Oh, my God. Temporary relocation of Gaza's entire population to build a luxury tourism destination. An advanced technology center on a technology center? You motherfuckers are going to build hotels, casinos, and some AI bullshit? By the way, as we continue here, this is only going to get worse, bro. This is only going to get worse. Trump's post-war Gaza plan proposes the voluntary mass removal of Gaza's 2 million residents with $5,000 cash payments, 4 years of rent, and 1 year of food aid in exchange for their land, so the territory can be rebuilt as a luxury tourist and investment zone. Under the plan, the U.S. would have it as, I think they call it a trusteeship. The U.S. would control it for a while like that, and then I think eventually the idea is, we'll turn it over to Israel. So in other words, what the strongest critics of Israel have been saying from day one has been factually proven correct. Oh, I see what you're doing here. This has nothing to do with October 7th. This has nothing to do with defense of innocent people. This has to do with genocide, ethnic cleansing, and then stealing and reoccupying all of Gaza. But by the way, it actually gets worse. Ready? So this is from the piece. The 38-page prospectus seen by the Washington Post envisions at least a temporary relocation of all of Gaza's more than 2 million population, either through what it calls voluntary departures to another country or into restricted, secured zones inside the enclave during reconstruction. That would be a concentration camp, by the way. Those who own land would be offered a digital token by the trust in exchange for rights to develop their property to be used to finance a new life elsewhere, or eventually redeemed for an apartment in one of 6 to 8 new AI-powered smart cities to be built in Gaza. Each Palestinian who chooses to leave will be given a $5,000 cash payment and subsidies to cover 4 years of rent elsewhere, as well as a year of food. So those who own land will be offered a digital token. So it's not enough that they're doing a genocide and ethnic cleansing of Palestinians in 4K on a daily basis. They also are running a crypto scam on them now. All of us failed to really wrap our minds around just how bad it could get, right? We really didn't get it. We really didn't understand just how bad shit can get. Well, now, shit's bad. Shit's real bad. In fact, it's as bad as it's ever been, and maybe I would say ever will be, but no, it could always get worse. It could always get worse, and it's going to get worse. It's going to go. They're openly discussing this shit. So now it's a genocide. It's an ethnic cleansing. It's reoccupying all of Gaza. It's kicking them all out. And at the same time, it's scamming them. And by the way, even we'll give you $5,000 in cash. This is the new 40 acres and a mule. That's what this is. This is Israel and the, we care. We're not doing anything illegal and wrong. We're not committing war crimes here. We're going to be nice to the Palestinians. We're going to voluntarily, forcibly remove you from your home, and we're going to give you a digital token and $5,000 in cash, which you'll be able to use, not here, elsewhere, go elsewhere, to either stay in the concentration camp or be forced elsewhere. But aren't we so magnanimous and kind and sweet that we're giving you $5,000 cash? I have a fucking bridge to sell you if you think any Palestinian is going to be getting $5,000 in cash. I have a bridge to sell you. So genocide, ethnic cleansing, and a crypto scam all rolled up in one. This is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. This is the most disgusting thing. And the fact that the fucking media took it seriously, the fact that the Washington Post wrote this up with a straight face, this is a fucking moral abomination. This is an atrocity. And everybody should be talking about this, and everybody should be screaming about this, and everybody should be calling for the immediate arrest of Benjamin Netanyahu, Ben-Gvir, Smotrich, Donald Trump, all these fucking psychopaths who are engaging in this bloodthirsty bullshit. Every single one of them should be arrested, rounded up. There should be mass trials, new Nuremberg trials, and they should definitely be found guilty and never see the fucking light of day again. And I don't care if Trump has or hasn't had a stroke. His ass should still be fucking locked up over this and all the other fucking war crimes he committed and all the other corruption he's been involved in. But this is crazy to me. This is crazy. They're floating this as sort of like a trial balloon. Like, hey, how much can we get away with here? Let me explain something to the rest of the world. You guys need to immediately drop sanctions on Israel and the U.S. You need to embargo us. There should be no trade. It would suck. It'd be horrible. You know, I'm a civilian and I live here, but we got to stop this somehow. And the best way anybody could really think of at this moment is you need to completely and utterly isolate Israel and treat them as the disgusting rogue state that they are. You need to do no trade with them whatsoever. The U.S. needs to immediately stop sending money, stop sending weapons. We need to condemn them at the UN. We need to arrest the war criminals. But the rest of the world needs to get their rear in gear. You need to make this state the pariah state that it is. Because again, we're witnessing a genocide in 4K in the year 2025. And because there's been not enough pushback, because the world hasn't said enough, that's why we get the continued escalation of the violence and the depravity and the atrocities. That's why this fucking plan can be leaked and people discuss it as if it's normal. Because there's been no accountability for anything else at this point. Was there any accountability when Israeli citizens were out there literally protesting for the right to rape Palestinian prisoners? Was there anybody out there? Did anybody draw a bright red line when we learned that Israel was purposely assassinating children, and they would play this sick, depraved game on a daily basis where some days all the kids would come in and have a leg wound. Some day they'd all come in and have their fucking testicles shot off. Some day they'd all come in and be killed and shot in the face. Because it was a game being played by IDF sadists, is what it was. What about all the bombings of the UN buildings and the World Central Kitchen workers and the hospitals and the schools? The fact that the world didn't draw bright red lines then got us to this point where we are now. It got us here, where you can casually describe an ethnic cleansing plan in immense detail, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. By the way, also, I need to see Democrats screaming about this. If you're not screaming about this, man, is that beyond fucking sketchy. I know you all take fucking AIPAC money. I know you all take Israel lobby money. Are you that fucking depraved where you see something like this? And this is a political gift, because now you have the Republican opposition going full fucking sadistic Mengele, Hitler, Himmler type shit. And you have nothing to say about it? Nothing. That is political malpractice and negligence if I've ever fucking seen it. And man, does that AIPAC money tell the whole fucking story if Democrats don't talk about this. But Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus Christ. What kind of world are we living in that this is really casually discussed? This is really openly discussed as if it's fucking nothing. Unbelievable. Unfucking real. Unreal. By the way, while we're on the conversation, let me wrap this up with this one here, because this really tells the whole story. The world's leading genocide scholars association concludes Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. Resolution passed with 86% of the world's top experts voting for it. Any denials or trivialization of the Gaza genocide should now discredit and disgrace its propagators. So, let me repeat that. The world's leading genocide scholars association, they voted on this. 86% said this is definitely a genocide. So Bernie Sanders, speak up. Ro Khanna, speak up. All the people who are supposed to be our allies, supposed to be leaders, supposed to be the left flank in Congress, right? And we do have, you have Rashida Tlaib calling it a genocide completely correctly, right? You have some who are willing to do it. But if you look at the numbers, I mean, what is it? 77% of Democrats are willing to call it a genocide, 77% of Democratic voters. It should be the case that at least 77% of elected Democrats are willing to call it that. And it's not. It's maybe fucking 10%. Right? Maybe 10%, maybe 15, could be less. And that shows how warped the whole fucking system is, right? It shows how warped it is. But so again, on the same day that all the experts, 86% go, we've passed this resolution, this is definitely a genocide, you have the Washington Post doing a write-up of Trump and Netanyahu's plan and taking it seriously. And it's a full genocide, ethnic cleansing plan. It's a crypto scam on top of all of that. And it's some lies about, oh yeah, the Palestinians will get their 40 acres and a mule too. Also, we can put some fucking bullshit casinos so rich Westerners can go and lose their money playing fucking blackjack before getting a hooker. Let's do all that on top of the skulls of dead Palestinian babies. Great, good stuff. Great stuff here. The depravity of what we're witnessing is literally off the charts. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.